Hello, everyone. Can you please let me know if you can hear me? So sorry for the delay. This is my first YouTube live stream, and I was like, I have to click the go live button. I don't know where the go live button is. It was very confusing. So yeah, I was just, oh, hello everyone. I was just on a call with my brother. Big thank you to my brother Alex. He is in the chat. He is the moderator, traveler of places. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Everyone go follow Alex because he is great and he live streams games and he helped me set up this whole streaming situation. So he's very vital. Okay, so sorry for the delay again. We're a few minutes late. Before we start, I've seen some of your requests, so I'm just gonna like pick one out, which is so cool. Thank you so much for all of your suggestions. First order of business, though, is that due to a lack of plugs in my laptop and various technical situations, we're running on laptop battery. So we're going to be here for hopefully an hour, hopefully an hour and a half. But if I drop out, it's probably because my laptop died, and I'm very sorry. And it's just I wish I had more USB plugs. That would solve the entire problem. Cool. What shall we draw first? You guys are so nice. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to do more on YouTube. I just like didn't have a very good drawing setup. But now I have a better drawing setup, so it should be much easier now. Also, my cat is in zoomies mode. So that's another factor to consider. Okay, so I think I'm going to be a little bit just in my lane in the first drawing. And someone said, hopefully you can draw a horse. Let's do that because it's the first one. Let's not overcomplicate things. And we'll come back to some of your wonderful suggestions later. So I'm just going to look up some reference. I always like to have reference when I'm drawing. I feel like drawing an Arabian horse today. I don't think I've drawn an Arabian horse in forever because I'm not often surrounded by Arabian horses. I see like cobs and like draft horses a little bit more and like thoroughbreds, but yeah, I don't know. I just I don't come across a lot of Arabian horses, so yeah, we're gonna draw an Arabian horse. I'm going to rotate my frame. Oh, you can see my screen. It's so cool. Thank you, Alex, for setting this up. So cool. So Esther, you have asked, how did I learn to draw? Thank you so much for loving my style. That's so nice of you to say. How did I learn to draw? I have mostly just been drawing my whole life and always trying to get better, like constantly. What sort of pose am I going to do on this horse? I feel like I need to take a second just to figure out what my plan is. Scrolling through various reference photos for inspiration. Okay, yeah, cool. We'll do what? Little bit laggy. It's fine. Yeah, how did I learn to draw? So I've been drawing my whole life. Very lucky to have parents who are very creative and artistically minded. So my mom actually gave me so much very valuable feedback as I was growing up and like helping me figure out like systems for drawing and like how to see shapes. And then I went to I did like art all through school and I'd taken some like courses on art anytime there was like a workshop that I could take, I would try and take that workshop. Okay, I'm just going to take a few seconds to figure out my sketch because I'm finding it a little tricky to talk and sketch at the same time. So I might just be a little bit quiet for a little bit. Oop, there we go. computer's just a little bit laggy. So drawing horses, and in fact, drawing pretty much anything, I tend to start with the torso and then I draw the legs pretty quickly after that because I like to get contact with the ground. I was at Life Drawing the other day and I was noticing that I was doing this consistently. Like I would start with the hips and then the torso and then I would do the legs and I would get down to the ground and then I would do the arms and I would do the head last. And I thought, huh, that's interesting. I did a life drawing class when I was in school. It was like a extracurricular dedicated life drawing like session for a few weeks. And so we had a proper life drawing teacher and she was saying like you've got to get contact with the ground fairly quickly so that you can tell whether not the horse, but like the figure is balanced, whether they're going to fall over. And it's like the scaffold for the rest of everything you're drawing. Okay, now head. So Arabians have like they do this pose where they hold their necks very archy, which is it's very distinctive Arabian. And they also have a dish in their face. So their face, rather than being like this flat bit here, or sometimes on horses that can be like, I think it's called like a Roman nose. It sort of curves like that. Arabians often have this like slight dish in their face, which is really pretty. Cool. So I'm just going to make that head a little bit smaller. Nope, that's the wrong button. Oh my gosh, my cat's on the desk. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. She's found a nice little corner to be. She's tucked herself away. Inky, stop moving the mouse. Moving the mouse, confiscating the mouse. Okay, another thing that Arabians do is they hold their tails aloft quite high. And I'm going to move over my drawing to make room for that. I'm doing a ridiculously long tail because pretty. Oop. And we're gonna have some kind of a mane. I might just do like a moderate mane. Moderately long. Oop. I keep drawing these solid lines. Stop. Cool. So I think that's basically my sketch, and I might just figure out these feet a little bit more. So there's like a joint here, and then it gets thin, and then there's hooves are like kind of a triangle. And then there's like a joints. I like to do little circles for the joints because it reminds me to give them volume. And I think I might just move this leg out further because I like to have a bit of a gap so that the silhouette's a bit nicer. So I'm going to just stretch that back a bit further. And this horse is trotting. So part of trotting is that it's quite nice when two diagonal legs are parallel. Ooh, laggy. There we go. When the computer lags, it does a solid, straight black line, which is not the dream. Cool. Okay, let's zoom in and figure out the face a little bit, and then I will do some cleaner lines and pop on a bit of tone. So nose here. What is the expression that we're doing? Gonna have a quick sip of tea. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I just zoomed in and I saw all of those solid black lines around the mane. I think they might have been there for a while, but because I zoomed in, I just saw them. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Tone them down. Okay, what are we doing for the face? Well, obviously we need an eye. I like to do eyebrows on all my animals. Just because I feel like it's more characterful. We're probably looking at something because which horse is posing like this and hasn't seen something? And I'm a big fan of strong side-eye expressions. I just think they're really fun. I like to try and show, doing that doesn't make sense, but I like to try and show a little bit of the opposite side of the face. So like a little eyelash, a little bit of eyebrow. And because of that, I'm going to move back this nose a little bit so that the face is actually rotated. That kind of makes sense. Yes, so this is the muzzle section, and there's like a cheek bone here. And I have made this dish a little bit exaggerated. I'm just going to move this back as well. Inky's now sitting on the mouse pad, like a little mouse. Inky is my cat, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. Okay, mouth is also really important for the expression. What are we going to do for the mouth? Don't have I haven't left a lot of room for the mouth, have I? Inky does want to help. Oh, I just petted her and she jumped. I feel like an open mouth, like where surprised would be cool. Just trying to figure out how to do that. Like a slightly like, oh, what is that kind of expression? But that looks a bit odd to me. I'm gonna move that a little bit. Yeah, cool. And then that comes around to the ears. I've made the ears really big. And yeah, part of that arch is this kind of angle here that I think is really cool. Shoulder. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think I'm going to move on to doing some slightly cleaner lines. So that's my sketch layer. So I like to turn that down and then make a new layer. And let me just zoom out and have a look at the whole thing. Yep. Cool. Ooh, let's view it in reverse. Clip Studio is great because it lets you just view the flip horizontal. It doesn't actually make it horizontal in the file. So it doesn't, like, it's fairly quick. Whereas I feel like when Photoshop, if you want to flip the image in Photoshop, you have to like flip everything and it has to calculate all of that and it takes a little bit longer. So another reason why I like Clip Studio. Okay, I'm noticing that the hips, there's this point here that is a little bit too forward. So I'm going to move that back. Just kind of doesn't quite look right when I'm comparing it to my reference. And come to think of it, this whole section maybe could go down. Oh, okay. Yep. More like solid, tall shoulders. And the feet are on the same level. Okay, cool. Now let's do some clean lines and keeping an eye on the time. Okay, I'm going to try and finish this one up so that I can move on to another one. And let's just check the laptop battery. It's not great. Not gonna lie. Oh gosh. Ah. What do we do about that? There's not a lot we can do about that. Okay, I'm just gonna try and draw this one really quick. I'm so sorry if this cuts off and I haven't even finished one. To find a better solution. The problem is that my laptop is like, you are supposed to be able to draw on the laptop. It's like a touch screen and it's got a stylus, but it's very laggy. So I've plugged in my old tablet, which is so much better for drawing, but it takes up USB-C sockets, and I've only got 2 of them on my laptop, and I need the other one for the microphone that you're hearing me through. So if I didn't have the microphone plugged in, I would be sounding very noisy. And those 2 USB sockets are also where the power comes from. So I'm going to try and do this really quick, and hopefully we can at least finish this one. And I will really work on a better solution for next time. I do really want to do regular live streams. I think this would be really fun to do like every week. Just gonna like up the pressure difference on the brush. That was quite a lot. Let's try a little bit different. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a little bit laggy. I really hope the laptop doesn't die. Flipping between tablet and power. I'm just thinking about that for a second. Looking at the wires that I have. I could probably draw on the laptop for a little bit and plug it into power and catch up, but it would be potentially very glitchy. So if we're okay with potentially very glitchy, then maybe we can stay a little bit longer. I suppose it would be better than nothing, which is the current situation. Hopefully not for a few minutes yet, but we'll see. I think so currently the laptop, so it says 52% remaining, and hopefully that's accurate and it's not just going to suddenly drop down to nothing. But I'll keep an eye on it for a little bit, and if it drops to maybe like 30, then maybe let's switch over to drawing on the laptop instead of drawing on the tablet. Oh my gosh, Inky, stop pressing buttons. She just stepped on the laptop trackpad. I like doing the little, I don't often do the little, I'm not good at naming the sections of the eye, but like the little, is it the pupil? I don't often do them, but looks cool. Feel like doing that today. Eyebrows. Something like that. And okay, the nose is looking a little bit odd. That needs to be higher, I think, and larger. I'm gonna flip back the other way. Flip. Horse noses kind of, they're kind of a spiral, but still, that looks too forward. They're kind of a spiral, so there's this little like curly bit there, and then, oh no, curly bit, and then this sort of big section with the airway, and then there's a little like fold. No. It's the lag. I think my poor little laptop is doing a lot right now. Oh no. Okay. It's getting quite laggy. Do I have tips for new artists? Probably. Let's think. If you are a new artist, like if you're fairly, like you're just thinking, I want to get better at art, I would draw anything that interests you and not worry too much about like, is this going to be marketable? Are people going to like this on social media? Like, how is this going to be received? If you're like towards the start of like, I just want to get better at drawing, I just love drawing, like just follow the love of drawing and like draw anything that interests you. Draw like fan art for TV shows that you like, or like bands that you're into, or like make up characters. I used to love making up creatures, and in fact I still do, and I haven't done it in a while, and that's a really good idea. I should make up creatures. And yeah, like don't worry too much about marketability. When you start trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna take this seriously, I'm gonna like do this as my job, even then, like you gotta keep room for drawing exactly what you want to draw when you want to draw it, because that's the passion will keep you going. I think the biggest part of learning to draw is not giving up and trying again. This is a little, I know I keep saying it, but it's a little bit laggy, which is a little bit making it a bit slower to be doing this drawing. I wanted to be drawing these every like 15 minutes, but I suppose this is the first stream, so keeping that in mind, we're just doing our best. I tend to be very particular about where I put lines, and I would love to not be so particular. Like when I draw like arcs and flowy hair, oh my gosh, these lines. When I draw arcs and like flowy hair, oh my gosh, that was so good. Now this solid line has come in and ruined it, and because it's the same stroke, I have to get rid of both of them. What is going on here? Custom creatures from your favorite game. That's such a good idea. yes, if there's something that you like making fan art of it or making like your own OC like in the universe, that's really fun. Mm. That was very parallel. See how those two lines are very parallel? That's why I'm getting rid of that one. I like things to not be parallel. Nah, what just happened there? Oh my gosh. My poor laptop, like I've had it since maybe like 2018. But so she's getting a little bit old. But like it still kind of does what I need, except that trying to stream right now. She's trying her best. She's a little bit laggy. Oh my gosh, my cat. Inky, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. She's scratching the sofa. Stop. You have a scratching post. It's like right there. Okay, we're on 43% battery. So if it drops below 40, I think I'm going to swap over to drawing on the laptop and it will be potentially laggy in a different way. I'm just going to leave this main for now. I'm going to go back to the rest of the body. Okay, so for the chest, I want to like indicate the front. And that comes around and okay, so this is a front leg. So there's this joint here, like the bones of a horse's shoulder. Basically, there's like a spine here, which is fairly flat, and there's like vertebrae that makes it like the withers and like the hips. Inky, oh my gosh, stop attacking the sofa. Inky, Inky, my goodness. She's in her zoomy mode. And so the spine is fairly flat, and then there's like a shoulder that comes down, and then there's another joint here, and then it goes down into the leg. And so this is, on a horse, we would call that the knee. If you were comparing it to a human skeleton, that joint would be like your wrist. Pretty sure. So this here is the elbow. So I like to have this joint, especially when the leg is straight, the whole line just fairly straight down. Oh my gosh. Drawing a straight line. There we go. And because I'm a character designer and my art is aimed at animation, I like to do it's a concept called straight against curve. So on different shapes, that is a bit too curved. On different shapes, you'll have one side that's straight and the other side that's more of a curve, and it's very interesting and it sort of keeps the flow going. And then I do a little defined knee on the front, and then this goes the other way. It's tricky with the lag. This is kind of not, it's a bit tricky. So straight against curve is also very similar to like simple against complex. So on one side of the shape, you would have like on the back of this leg, it's one straight line. There's very little information there. And on the front side of this leg, it's like you can see the knee and you can see the front of that muscle. And there's like a curve going down into the foot. So yeah, they're really interesting concepts to play against each other. Okay, and for hooves, oh my, For hooves, they are basically a triangle, but no, no. They're basically, haha, a triangle, but this has a little bit of depth here. And obviously I'm exaggerating everything because I'm trying to draw a fun cartoon. It's kind of like a wedge. And I'm just going to erase that extra line there. Now, the real challenge is making all the hooves look the same size on the same animal. What animal is easy for me to draw? I've thought mostly about horses, so I probably would say, like, I don't think, like, everything still requires reference and checking, and it's always possible to do a bad drawing. But I think I've thought the most about horse anatomy. So if I was just going to draw an animal from memory, I would probably draw a horse. I feel like birds also, just because you can get away with a lot of just like an oval. Like they're you can really simplify them into like a blob. Whereas obviously like a leaner animal like a horse is like there's more muscle and bone structure that you really got to balance properly. You can get away with a lot with drawing birds, but I also really like birds. But yeah, I would always reference. Where is this leg connecting from? Because I'm looking, I've got a reference that's in a similar pose, but I have rotated this horse a little bit, so we're seeing a bit more of the front. So I'm just trying to figure out where this leg connects. Let's zoom out so I can actually see if that makes sense. Undo. Quick check of the battery. We are at 37. Okay, I think I need to move from tablet to laptop now. Save the file. Always save the file. Okay, how do I do this? Ooh. Okay, so the stream is tied to like the size of my window, so I've just shrunk it down and I'm moving it to my laptop screen. Here we go. And now I'm going to turn off the tablet and the stream should be okay. Yes, hopefully the stream will be available to watch later. It will be on my live stream tab on the YouTube channel. Finding the plug for my laptop. Disconnecting the tablet. Beep boop, it says. Oop, oop. Everything, because I just unplugged the screen, things are like shifting around. Okay, and we're back. And we're on power. Okay. Phew. I think we made it. I'm just going to move my tablet away. This being the first live stream, of course there are going to be some technical difficulties, and that's okay. That's totally expected. Oh my gosh, I have so many wires. I cannot tell you how many wires I have. I'm just trying to move my tablet out of the way so I can bring my laptop closer so that I can draw on my laptop. And the tablet wires are legion. Unplug. Move over there. Okay, find the different stylus for my laptop. Okay. Oh, now I only have one screen. That's so sad. No. Okay. Figuring out how to arrange the windows. I have the chat on the left, and I'm expanding the drawing window. And does that look good on the stream? It Ooh, could be more tall. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna try that. Thank you so much for bearing with me, everyone. Can you imagine one day I'm gonna have this all figured out and it will be so straightforward. And we'll be like, let's do a stream. And we'll just do a stream. And I'll be on time and there won't be lags probably. Do 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 do. Almost ready to continue with this horse, and if there's less of a lag, hopefully I can just draw this up real quick and we can draw a different animal. How do I balance accuracy to the reference with such expressive faces? That's a trick. That's a challenge. And yep, the nail on the head. That's tricky. Yeah. Yeah. I just, like, I don't even, it's just a lot of trying really hard and trying again and being like, does that look right? And zooming out and being like, and looking at art that I really love and looking at other artists doing caricatures of different species and seeing how they approach things and seeing like some of my favorite character art is so pushed and I'm always trying to get there. And so yeah, it's a lot of like looking at the animals, but also looking at character drawings that I really love. Yeah. Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. A fawn and its mother is a very good idea. I'll try and keep that in mind. Okay, we're on battery now. We're plugged in. Yay. So let's see if we can't draw this much quicker than I have been drawing this. Ooh, and the pen is the pen. So the problem with the laptop that I'm drawing on now is the stylus, like fairly regularly, every now and then will just stop connecting. And like right now, I've got the lasso tool and I'm trying to draw just like a lasso. I don't know if you can see the mouse. And it's not actually leaving a line. This is like the brush tool, it's not even connecting at all. So this is the sort of thing that happens every few minutes and then it comes back and I can draw happily for a while and then it comes back again and it stops working and okay, that was with the one day we'll have a stream that goes so smoothly. I'm not sure what to do. It's not making any lines. I'm afraid this might be a restart kind of problem, and I don't know if I can stay on the stream if I restart. There never was a stream. Wait, there never was a stream that never had its gremlins. It's true. Yeah, this is not connecting. Maybe we could just like hang out for a little bit and we'll get some battery back. No, the battery's charging really slowly. Hello. Yeah. Which program am I using and what do I like about it in particular compared to any other? I'm using Clip Studio Paint and I really quite like it. The reason I got it is because it was a one-time purchase as opposed to a subscription. And I feel like actually with Clip Studio's prices, and this is not at all sponsored, I don't really know, I just like the program. I think with their prices, like a subscription for a while might actually be cheaper than buying it one-off, depending on when you're thinking of updating the program. But I like buying things one-off because I don't like thinking about subscriptions all the time. So I bought it for that reason, but I really like it because of just so many little functionality things. Like earlier, if you go view and then flip, rotate, flip horizontal, it just flips the preview of the drawing, but it's not actually flipping the file itself. So it's very quick. It just does it like immediately. And you can flip it back. Clip Studio is also great because if you have all of your layers in a group, let's demonstrate. So these are two layers. The bottom one is the sketch layer, the top one is the line layer, and let's put them in a group. And I can use the marquee tool. I'm using the trackpad because the mouse is not, the stylus is not connecting. I can select, can I select? Now I'm using a mouse and it's still not selecting. Okay, well imagine that I selected this section here. I could move that section somewhere else on the canvas, and it would do it for every layer in that group at the same time, and it wouldn't take minutes and minutes of intense computation to figure it out. It just does it fairly quickly. So it's really cool because like if you've got a thing with multiple layers and you just want to move this little bit of it, all those layers at the same time, it will update on all those layers immediately. Whereas in Photoshop, you would have to move them like that section individually on each layer, which is like a hassle. So yeah, I like Clip Studio for things like that. Just little things work a lot better. Okay, so yeah, this is not now my mouse is not working, my trackpad's not working, and my stylus is not working, so I cannot make any marks on the screen, which is not great for a drawing stream, not ideal. So I might have to restart. Yeah, I think I have to restart, and I think I probably have to, is it like I make another stream, right? This is my first time streaming on YouTube. I think I would make a new stream. So how about we do that? Let's adjourn for like a few minutes whilst I restart and hopefully get this working again. And I will attempt to be back. And if for any reason it doesn't work, I'll make a post on YouTube and letting you know. But also if it does work, I'll make a post on YouTube with the link. But I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it in the live tab of my YouTube channel. So very sorry about this, everyone. Technical difficulties. Also, like this should be available to watch later if you want to do that. Cool. Thank you, everyone. You guys are so nice. I'm so appreciative. So sorry about the technical difficulties. We're doing our best. Okay, let's adjourn for a few minutes. Everyone go grab a cup of tea. And hopefully we'll be back. Okay, thank you so much. Now, the real question is how do I end the stream? Okay, there's a button saying end stream. I'm going to click it. Oh, we're all okay? We know the plan. We're coming back in a few minutes on a new stream. Okay, here I go.